The qasīdah is an ancient Arabic word and form of writing poetry, often translated as ode, passed to other cultures after the Arab-Muslim expansion. The word qasīdah is still being used in its original birthplace, Arabia, and in all Arabic-speaking countries. Well-known qasā'id include the Qasida Burda by Imam al-Busiri and Ibn Arabi's classic collection, The Interpreter of Desires. The classic form of qasīdah maintains a single elaborate metre throughout the poem, and every line rhymes on the same sound. It typically runs from 15 to 80 lines, and sometimes more than 100. The genre originates in Arabic poetry and was adopted by Persian poets, where it developed to be sometimes longer than 100 lines. Form: Arabic qasīdah means intention, and the genre found use as a petition to a patron. A qasīdah has a single presiding subject, logically developed and concluded. Often it is a panegyric, written in praise of a king or a nobleman, the genre known as metre, meaning praise. In his 9th century book of poetry and poets, the Arabian writer Ibn Qutayba describes the qasīdah as formed of 3 parts: the nasib, a nostalgic opening in which the poet reflects on what has passed. A common theme is the pursuit by the poet of the caravan of his beloved. By the time he reaches the campsite, they have already moved on. The rahil, a travel section, a release, a disengagement, often achieved by the poet describing his transition from the nostalgia of the nasib to contemplating the harshness of the land and life away from the tribe. The message of the poem, which can take several forms: praise of the tribe or a ruler, satire about other tribes, or some moral maxim. While many poets have intentionally or unintentionally deviated from this plan, it is recognizable in many. For the Abbasid period onwards, 2-part qasīdah forms containing just a nasib and metre have been dominant. Persian variation. After the 10th century, Iranians developed the qasīdah immensely and used it for other purposes. For example, Nasir Khosrow used it extensively for philosophical, theological, and ethical purposes, while Avicenna also used it to express philosophical ideas. It may be a spring poem or autumn poem. The opening is usually a description of a natural event, the seasons, a natural landscape, or an imaginary sweetheart. In the taklos, poets usually address themselves by the pen name. Then the last section is the main purpose of the poet in writing the poem. Ismaili 12 versias recite qasidahs, many of which are written by Rumi, Nazir Khusraw, and many others. Farsi qasīdah, Dam Hamadam Ali was written by Rumi in Turkey in praise of Imam Ali. This is a verse: Saki Iba Wafa Manam Dam Hamadam Ali, Sufi Iba Safa Manim Dam Hamadam Ali. Translation: I am a humble poet. In rapture my soul cries Ali, I am a Sufi pure of heart. In rapture my soul cries Ali. Persian exponents include Farrokhi Sistani, the court poet of Mahmud Ghaznavi, especially his hunting scene; Masood Sa'di Sulman, who was wrongfully imprisoned on the suspicion of treason; Anvari Abavedi, especially his petition for help against the invasion of Mongols; Kargane Shervani, and in the 20th century, Muhammad Taghi Bahar with his innovations in using the qasīdah for political purposes. For the 14th century CE, Persian poets became more interested in ghazal and the qasīdah declined. The ghazal developed from the first part of qasīdah, in which poets praised the sweethearts. Mystic poets and Sufis used the ghazal for mystical purposes. The Urdu qasīdah. Qasīdah in Urdu poetry is often panegyric, sometimes as satire, sometimes dealing with an important event. As a rule it is longer than the ghazal but follows the same system of rhyme. The West African qasīdah. A large number of religious qasā'id has been written in Arabic by the Sufi Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Mbaka from Senegal, West Africa. His qasā'id are poetically exploring the Quran and other learned texts, praising Allah and the Prophet, and are considered, both in Senegal as well as in Morocco and other West African countries, as advanced and beautiful poetry. The qasā'id of the Sheikh are today still sung and recited actively by both murids belonging to the Sufi tariqa Muridiyya, as well as by members of other Sufi tariqas in Senegal and throughout West Africa, especially the Tijaniyya. The original poetry works of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba Mbaka are preserved in a large library in the holy city Touba, Senegal, which was founded by the Sheikh, built by his talibes and considered to be the capital of Murids.